In the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, in 1957, a visionary was born, Spike Lee. Born into a family deeply entrenched in the arts, young Spike was surrounded by creativity, with a jazz musician father and an educator mother who loved literature. It was in this nurturing environment that a love for storytelling began to bloom within him. As a child, Spike was not just a passive observer of stories. He was an active participant, creating his own narratives through the medium of film. His passion for storytelling led him to Morehouse College, a historically black institution that nurtured his intellectual curiosity. There, he made his first student film, Last Hustle in Brooklyn, an endeavor that set him on a path to cinematic greatness. The pursuit of his passion didn't stop there. Spike later attended New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, where he honed his skills and developed his unique voice. But the road to success was not without its struggles. Like many young filmmakers, Spike faced numerous rejections and obstacles. Yet he remained undeterred, channeling his experiences into his art, depicting the realities and complexities of African American life that Hollywood had long overlooked. His tenacity bore fruit when he created his first feature film, She's Gotta Have It. A fresh and authentic portrayal of African American womanhood, this film was a stark departure from the stereotypical narratives prevalent in Hollywood. It was daring, it was different, and it was a clear indication that Spike Lee was not here to play by Hollywood's rules. With She's Gotta Have It, Spike Lee was not just another name in Hollywood, he was a force ready to rewrite its rules. In 1989, a film arrived that shook Hollywood and the world, Do the Right Thing. This was not just another movie, it was a cinematic revolution. Directed by Spike Lee, the film was a scathing commentary on racial tension and police brutality. It dared to explore the unexplored and speak the unspoken. Sure, it ruffled more than a few feathers, but it also sparked a much-needed dialogue about race relations in America. The film broke the mold and challenged Hollywood's narrative norms. It was a raw, unfiltered portrayal of racial tension in a Brooklyn neighborhood, told from a perspective that was largely absent from mainstream cinema at the time. The movie's poignant narrative and powerful performances earned it an Academy Award nomination, solidifying Lee's status as a visionary filmmaker. But Lee didn't stop there. He continued to push boundaries and challenge societal norms with his subsequent films. In 1992, he brought the life and legacy of Malcolm X to the big screen. The film, aptly titled Malcolm X, was a labor of love for Lee. It was a biographical epic that delved deep into the life of one of the most influential African-American leaders. The film humanized Malcolm X, portraying him not just as a political figure, but as a man shaped by his experiences. The movie was hailed as a cinematic masterpiece, earning an Academy Award nomination for its lead actor, Denzel Washington. Fast forward to 2018, and Lee was still breaking barriers. His film, Black Klansman, was a satirical yet sobering account of an African-American detective's infiltration of the Ku Klux Klan. The film was a sharp critique of racism in America, cleverly drawing parallels between past and present societal issues. It was a testament to Lee's ability to combine social commentary with compelling storytelling, earning him his first Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. But what made these films so groundbreaking? It was Lee's unflinching commitment to tell the stories that needed to be told, no matter how uncomfortable they made people feel. He wasn't afraid to address the elephant in the room, to challenge the status quo, to shake things up. He used his films as a platform to shine a light on the often overlooked experiences of African Americans, giving a voice to the voiceless. Lee's films were not just movies, they were powerful statements that challenged societal norms and provoked important conversations. They were a reflection of his vision, his passion, and his relentless pursuit of truth. And in doing so, he didn't just make movies, he made history. Spike Lee, the filmmaker, was a force to reckon with, but Spike Lee, the advocate, was equally powerful. In an industry dominated by a singular narrative, Lee's voice stood out. His confrontations with Hollywood norms were as bold as his films. Known for his unapologetic stance, he never shied away from calling out the industry's lack of diversity. He challenged the status quo, pushing for a more inclusive Hollywood that truly reflected the diverse fabric of America. Lee's advocacy wasn't just limited to his words. His actions spoke volumes. He was instrumental in fostering African American representation in media, both in front of and behind the camera. He championed black actors, giving them roles that were complex, nuanced, and real. He also ensured representation behind the scenes, hiring black crew members and mentoring upcoming African-American filmmakers. Lee didn't just want to tell black stories, he wanted to ensure these stories were told by those who lived them. Through his production company, 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks, he provided a platform for African-American voices that were often overlooked by mainstream Hollywood. But Lee's advocacy extended beyond the realms of race. He used his films as a platform to comment on societal issues, weaving complex narratives around themes like police brutality, gentrification, and racial tension. His films were not just stories, they were social commentaries. They held up a mirror to society, forcing viewers to confront uncomfortable truths. Take, for instance, his film, Do the Right Thing. It was a bold examination of racial tension in a Brooklyn neighborhood. The film didn't just depict the tension, it confronted it head-on, unflinching and raw. It sparked conversations, debates and introspection, proving that cinema could be a powerful tool for social commentary. Lee's advocacy was not without its controversies. He was often criticized for his outspoken nature. His films too were met with their share of backlash, but controversy or not, Lee's voice was heard. And more importantly, it initiated a dialogue, a much-needed conversation about race, representation, and the role of cinema in society. His impact was undeniable. He transformed Hollywood's narrative around African-American culture, redefining what was considered mainstream. He brought African-American stories to the forefront, not as side notes, but as central narratives. Spike Lee, the filmmaker, was a force to reckon with, but Spike Lee, the advocate, was equally powerful. Lee's advocacy extended beyond his films, influencing an industry and a generation. His films did not just entertain, they educated, they provoked thought, and they inspired change. His legacy was not just his filmography, but the dialogue he initiated, the barriers he broke, and the space he created for African-American voices in Hollywood. In the words of Lee himself, "We've got to tell our story." And tell it he did. Through his films, through his words, and through his relentless advocacy, Spike Lee rewrote Hollywood's rules, one film at a time. Spike Lee's body of work is not just about the films he made, but the barriers he broke and the legacy he built. His journey was not without struggle, but it was these very struggles that led him to create a cinematic universe that was as diverse as it was compelling, a universe that dared to tell the stories that Hollywood often shied away from. In the course of his illustrious career, Lee has been lauded with numerous accolades. From prestigious awards at Cannes Film Festival to his crowning glory, the Academy Award, each one stands as a testament to his talent, his vision, and his unwavering courage to challenge the status quo. But perhaps his most significant achievement is the impact he has had on the industry and the doors he has opened for others. Lee's influence extends far beyond the silver screen. His work has been a beacon, a guiding light for new generations of filmmakers. He has inspired countless artists to push boundaries, to tell their own stories, and to never compromise their vision for the sake of fitting into a pre-existing mold. His advocacy for diversity and representation in cinema has paved the way for a more inclusive Hollywood, a Hollywood that is slowly but surely learning to celebrate the richness of different narratives. The legacy of Spike Lee is etched not just in the reel of his films, but in the hearts and minds of those he has inspired, those who have found their own voice because of him. His work, his advocacy, and his passion have forever changed the landscape of cinema. Spike Lee didn't just make films. He carved out a space for stories that needed to be told, for voices that needed to be heard. He challenged conventions, he pushed boundaries, and he rewrote the rules. He dared to dream, and he dared to do. Spike Lee redefined what cinema could be, and in doing so, left an indelible mark on Hollywood and society. His legacy is a testament to the power of art, the power of storytelling, and the power of daring to challenge the narrative. The Spike Lee effect, a term that encapsulates the profound influence of a man who dared to challenge the status quo. Spike Lee didn't just make films. He crafted narratives that were raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically black. He shattered the monochromatic lens through which Hollywood viewed African-American culture. He painted a vivid tapestry of black life, with all its complexities, nuances, and idiosyncrasies. He didn't shy away from the uncomfortable. Rather, he thrust it into the spotlight, demanding that it be seen, heard, and acknowledged. His films went beyond mere entertainment. They were a call to action, a catalyst for conversation, a mirror held up to society. He used his lens to scrutinize and question the world around him, dissecting the good, the bad, and the ugly with equal fervor. He spotlighted racial tensions, police violence, and social inequality, breaking ground where others feared to tread. But Lee's impact wasn't confined to the cinematic landscape. His influence permeated the very fabric of society, pushing boundaries and challenging norms. He was a vocal advocate for diversity and representation, not just in front of the camera, but behind it too. He championed the cause of black filmmakers, actors, and crew members, paving the way for a new generation of diverse talent. His films sparked a cultural shift, a renaissance of sorts. They inspired a generation of filmmakers to tell their own stories, to break free from the constraints of traditional Hollywood narratives. He gave them the courage to be bold, to be different, to be authentic. Today, we see the Spike Lee effect everywhere. In the increased representation of black culture in mainstream media, in the rise of filmmakers who, like Lee, are not afraid to confront societal issues head-on. In the cultural discourse, his films continue to provoke. Spike Lee didn't just create films, he sparked a revolution. From a young film enthusiast in Atlanta to a Hollywood game-changer, Spike Lee's journey is a testament to his vision and resilience. A journey that began with a Super 8 camera in his hands, transformed into a lifelong pursuit of truth and representation in cinema. His passion for storytelling, coupled with an unyielding commitment to challenging conventions, has shaped his illustrious career, making him one of the most pivotal figures in film history. As we've journeyed through the life and works of Spike Lee, we've seen how he's used the medium of cinema to amplify voices often unheard and unseen. His breakthrough film, She's Gotta Have It, not only put him on Hollywood's radar, but also demonstrated his ability to tell complex, nuanced stories about African-American experiences. His films, like Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and BlacKkKlansman, have since become cultural touchstones, sparking conversations around race, identity, and politics. Lee's fearless confrontation of hard truths, his exploration of the human condition, and his insistence on portraying the richness and diversity of African-American life have left an indelible mark on the cinematic landscape. The challenges he faced were substantial. He grappled against a Hollywood system that was resistant to change and often found himself advocating for representation both on and off screen. Yet, his perseverance and dedication enabled him to carve out a space for himself and for stories that reflect the breadth of African-American experiences. His legacy extends beyond his own films. Lee's influence can be seen in the work of a new generation of filmmakers who continue to challenge and reshape narratives. His commitment to nurturing talent, as seen through his professorship at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, is testament to his belief in the power of cinema to enact change. But perhaps the most compelling aspect of Spike Lee's journey is his unwavering commitment to his vision. Despite the barriers he faced, Lee never compromised on his commitment to tell authentic, thought-provoking stories. His films, while entertaining, always strive to enlighten, provoke thought, and instigate conversation. Lee's journey serves as a reminder that cinema can be more than just entertainment. It can be a vehicle for change, a platform for underrepresented voices, and a mirror reflecting society's triumphs and failures. His work underscores the transformative power of cinema, its ability to challenge perceptions, shape dialogues, and ultimately influence culture. In a career spanning over 4 decades, Spike Lee has proven that cinema can be a powerful tool for social commentary. His films serve as a testament to his vision, one that sees cinema as an instrument for change, a canvas upon which the stories of the marginalized and overlooked can be painted with authenticity and respect. Spike Lee, a name synonymous with groundbreaking cinema, a visionary who dared to rewrite Hollywood's rules and in the process, change the way we view the world. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the groundbreaking career of Spike Lee. His story is an inspiration to us all, a testament to the power of vision, resilience, and the transformative impact of storytelling. We invite you to share your thoughts about Lee's journey in the comments section below. Do you have a favourite Spike Lee film, a scene that left an indelible mark on you? Or perhaps you have your own stories of breaking barriers and challenging conventions in your field. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video insightful, please share it with others who might appreciate Spike Lee's contributions to cinema. Remember, every share helps us bring these stories to a wider audience. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and works of Spike Lee. We look forward to exploring more stories of visionaries who've reshaped their fields, challenged the status quo, and left an indelible mark on our culture. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe for more.